there, it's Jo here from Creative Empowerment, and today I'm bringing you a pick a card video. This pick a card video is all about the new moon in Scorpio, and it's a super full moon, so it's really intense. Scorpio is a water sign, so lots of emotional stuff coming up for a lot of us. You know, Scorpio is dark, secretive, wants to get to the bottom of things. So there's lots of things that this could be bringing up in your life. It's also the time of the new moon, and a super new moon means that whatever intentions you're working with at this time, it means the energy is going to be felt for a longer period of time. So it's a really good time to have a look at what's coming up for you so that you can work with those energies, so that you can, instead of having them buffet you and attack you in your life or that feeling happen, it's a great time to look at what's coming up for you, asking Spirit to sort of highlight what it is that you need to know. And once you have that information, you're armed with guidance and insight into what's going on for you at this time. And it means that you can then, you know, traverse these energies in a different way. You can make different choices. You can be forewarned and forearmed. Not that you need to protect yourself, but, you know, the information is there. And when we tune into our higher self, when we tune into our spirit guides, they're really happy to share that knowledge and information with us. So join me today with this pick a card reading to find out what's happening for you at the time of the Scorpio new moon in November 2020. If you like pick a card readings, please subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. There are timestamps in the description box below, and hopefully I've pinned the comment to the top of the comments as well. Let's get stuck right into it. I will see you in your reading. So here we have our 3 piles for you to choose from today for the super new moon in Scorpio. We have pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. And if you're new to pick a cards or pick a card readings, this is where you get to choose whether you get to use your intuition to guide you. So it's not because you like number 1 or 2 or 3, as in those numbers. It's more about letting your third eye choose for you. So now if you like to choose with crystals, I'm going to pop some of those on. So there we have our 3 crystals that we're using for this reading. And the first one is the green aventurine egg. Beautiful, sparkly egg there. A beautiful sunstone heart. Beautiful, bright, cheery. And then we have the black tourmaline, more grounding and protect. Have a look at all the 3 piles and see which one is calling you today. And remember to sort of ask the question, what is it that I need to know? What sort of guidance do I need around the time of the Scorpio super new moon? What energies are coming up in my life? What guidance or insight do I need? I'm feeling very subdued with the energy today with this reading. So if I talk quietly, please forgive me. And if I seem to talk really slowly, it feels like that's what I need to do. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Now that you've selected which card you're going to choose, we're going to jump straight into the reading. So I'll see you in your pile. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the beautiful green aventurine egg, and I keep saying that egg, so I'm really wondering how this crystal is going to come into your reading today. With the idea of an egg, it's all about, you know, what's inside the egg, what's opening up for you, what are you incubating, what are you about to, you know, bring forth into the world. So yes, I just wanted to bring that in for you before we even get started. And then we have Coyote. So this is an overriding energy for you at this time, and it is about the wise fool. Accept your follies and find the teaching in them. And if we think about the idea of a fool, it's the type of thing that we all want to dismiss and, you know, think someone who is a fool doesn't know anything. But when we think about an animal, and my energy is just dropping pile 1, like really, really dropping. It's whatever's happening for you at this time, it's going really deep, really, really deep. So this idea of a fool, when we think about an animal as a fool, we then have compassion Whereas we think about a person, we kind of, a bit more sarcastic, a bit more not compassionate. I'm really interested that that's been the thing that I'm drawing out about this card. So let's have a look at your other cards and see what's happening for you at this time, around the time of the new supermoon in Scorpio. So you've got some really interesting cards here. Hind is all about, that soft, delicate yin energy. So it's very delicate. It's really pure. You see that beautiful light coming straight down. It's about innocence, growth. We'll see all that beautiful abundance around this beautiful animal and all that soft light. So as I said to you before, that I felt this deepening of my energy as I started talking to you. There's a lot of healing in this card, and there's that sort of spring energy. So there's a lot of bright yellow greens, and you've picked a card, or a crystal, that is all about healing and that heart healing energy. So I don't know if that's what I feel about this card for you, but I'm feeling innocence. I'm feeling growth. I'm feeling you getting to the bottom of something is what I feel like with this card. It feels like there's this light being shone on something at the time of the new moon for you, and it could be around something that is like deeply healing for you, but there's this new light coming to shine on whatever it is that you're thinking about, looking at, etc. Then we have Blackbird, and Blackbird is about the spiritual, is about being on the edge or on the boundaries of something. It's talking about a gateway into another world. Blackbird has one foot in this world and another foot in the spiritual world. It's talking to you about nighttime or twilight, where the idea is that there's still a little bit of daylight left, and then there's the night. This bird is really good at traversing both sides of things. And when I'm seeing this next to the hind card, I'm wondering if you are having sort of a spiritual light shone on some things in your life that have seemed kind of very 3D or very down to earth, and you're now starting to, to traverse this. And I keep saying that word, which is really interesting because I wouldn't normally choose it. Between night and day, between light and dark, between the real three-dimensional touch or physical world and the spiritual world. So it feels like for me that there is this newness, this start of an adventure, moving into a different state. And we could see that this card come into that too, because that idea of a fool is someone who will start a journey that seems like, you don't know what's going to happen on the journey. But the idea of coyote is that it's a wise fool, someone who actually understands more than you give them credit for. So, and that is you. That is how you're going into this. So now I'm going to move these to the side because they're kind of like bookends for this reading. They're kind of like the energies that you're sitting in. Whereas these energies, we've got past, present, and future when I get them organised. Oh, okay. What have we got here? We've got antelope spirit, life is speeding up. So that's kind of past. That's what's is when I say past, I feel like a lot of you still feel like you're there. And we also have a similar animal here, which is really very interesting. So again, we've got that wonderful, it's an antelope, but we've got that deer family. So it may be that you have felt this strong pull or a strong urge to become more spiritual, to do more spiritual practices like meditation. It could even be a yoga practice. It could be qigong. It could be drumming or, sound healing or whatever it is. There is this speed that you have wanted to do this, this change that's happening for you, this moving into different worlds. And for me, I'm talking about two different things, but for you it might be different. It could be that you've been out of work and you're going into work. You're going back to school, or whatever it might be. There's a change happening, and that's what I'm talking about. The card specifically is talking about those two different worlds, but it could be happening for you in a different way. Here we have hummingbird spirit with these bright, bright energies, and it's all about being here now. So even though you may feel like there's this need to speed things up in your life, hummingbird spirit is coming to you to remind you that the path that you're on, the things that you're going to do, it's about noticing and being in awareness and not beating your wings so fast that you don't know where you are, you don't know what you're doing, and you will miss all of the things that you're here to experience. So, emotionally, we're talking about air feelings here. Again, this is kind of an air card because it's running through the air. But here we've got grounded energy and we're moving into some water. Now, the reason that I was drawn to talk about the elements is because we're talking about Scorpio. It's a water sign. So it's all about releasing and letting go of our emotions. And if you're so busy and intent on being somewhere and doing something, you may have lost track of, how do I feel about what it is that I'm doing? Where, I'm starting something new, I'm trying some new things. How do I actually feel about it? Because whale spirit then talks to us. So this is present and this is future. Whale spirit talks about trusting the great mystery, but it's in the reverse. So it means that you're kind of not doing that. It feels like you're looking backwards a bit because you actually don't know if that forward momentum is what you want. But if you look at all the other cards, even the coyote it's turned forward with its head, even though it's got its body going towards the past. But every other animal in this reading for you has got its head facing forward. But your emotional aspects that are happening with this, whatever it is that you're doing, there's confusion, there's this inability to trust what's happening for you at the moment. And what have we got? Celestial Gatekeeper, timing is critical. Now, it's really interesting when I see timing is critical. We've got a lot of rushing here. So perhaps the timing is critical, or perhaps you feel the timing is critical. Because then the next question we have here, or the next card we have here, is Priorities and King Solomon. And this card I pulled, and I had a very strong message from Spirit that this is what you can't see. You can't see that this your priorities at the moment. So it's like you're thinking that this is, it's everything's speeding up, that timing is critical, but you're not focused on what is the priority, and whether that's the priority for you, the bigger picture of looking at what's happening here about this journey that you're on, that you're experiencing. Again, it feels like you're moving between two places, and it could be a physical move. I'm not getting that very strongly. For some of you it might be, but it's this rushing, this speed that you want to do it at that is coming up as the problem, because these cards talk about this wonderful new thing that's happening in your life, but it's kind of like it's your focus. Again, this is another focus that's going back in time. It's your focus here is going backwards. It's kind of like you're wasting time by being focused on this speeding up. So that's what this Solomon here is talking to you about. It is talking to you about understanding that you're actually putting the blocks or the brakes on things yourself because of the way you're going into it. This new thing, whatever it is really exciting. It's the right thing for you. These cards feel really strong. You may not feel like you understand what's happening, but your ability to work through this situation is the thing that dictates to you how it all works. And at the moment, your priorities need to be redressed. The way you're actually actively going about it, it needs to change. And these cards here are, sort of like your advice. And they're both in the reverse, so that's pretty interesting to start with. Now let's just move some things. But we have death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. So these are the advice. This is the advice. This is the way forward for you. So perhaps it is for you that you can't actually move forward until you understand that, until you acknowledge that they are death, and that an ending of something is a learning experience, and that's the bit that you take from it. Because sometimes we see deaths or the closure of things that sometimes we see them as a punishment. Sometimes we see them as, someone is denying us something, and that's how this feels for you. This feels like you feel like someone's denying you something, when that's not the case. There's a lot of momentum forward for you. You are on the right path. There are things that you need to take different notice of. And until you do that, you will have these forks in the road, or these U-turns that you need to take. And that feels like a very strong word for you, a U-turn. You need to keep focused on something in the back of you, behind you, because you tried to rush through too quickly. Freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And you absolutely do. And if you think about whale spirit and freedom, they go hand in hand. And again, they're both in the reverse. So we are talking about you being free. We are talking about this innocence, this purity, and the path that you are on is the right one for you. There's a lot to learn from this path. There's a lot of freedom to come. There's a lot of the words riches were coming, but it's not riches as in money. It's riches as in benefits for you in your life. All of these things feel like this egg, because at the moment it feels like it's for a lot of you, this is happening internally, and it feels like there's not enough outward show of what's happening inside you. And that's where this block is coming for you. That's where at the time of the Scorpio supermoon, your freedom is being, it's not denied, but your freedom is being subverted, or the progression is being subverted, because there's still some things that you needed to have a look at. There's a closer, more in-depth look, and Scorpio is a great time for that. Scorpio is really good time to get down to the nitty-gritty, to uncover whatever it is that you need to uncover. And remember that your guides want you to know that it's priorities, not just about looking at everything for the sake of it. It's about prioritizing what's important. What from the past is important to have a look at. And then that timing is critical. The time to have a look at the past is critical for this forward momentum to happen. But trust that everything's going to happen in the right, the right way for you. There's some things that you need to do to assure that everything is going to happen in the right way. But you are entering into a time, into a journey which is going to feel really, really amazing for you. There's going to be some big changes coming into your life as a result of this, and when you've done this work. I really enjoyed this reading for you today. If you have too, please like, share and subscribe to my channel for more readings like this one. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hi Pile 2, if you chose the Sunstone, then this is your reading for today. Now I'm just going to leave those there for a moment. This card I pulled, we've got lots of animal cards today, and this is sort of like your overriding energies for this time, for this super new moon time, which is a really wonderful energy to be bringing in. So you've got Rabbit, which is about fertility. So when we're looking at supermoons, they are going to affect us for longer than the regular new moon cycle. So this cycle is all about planting the seeds, for the future. So a wonderful card for you to come up is fertility, because it means that whatever it is that you're whatever it is you're thinking about, nurturing at this time of this new moon, it's really a fertile idea. Your creativity is at its peak, and this is the energy that is surrounding you at the time of this new moon in Scorpio. Card. Oh, whoa, and the salmon. Interesting. So I usually take these cards out, but today I didn't. Today I left them in by accident. But when we're doing a reading, nothing happens by accident. So what is it? So there's two ways that I can read this. Well, there's actually probably millions of ways that I could read it. But the things that are coming to me right now, one is that there's like a whitewash in your life at the moment. There's like something that is, maybe it's too painful to look at. Maybe you don't want to allow your emotions to go into this area of your life. Like if you think about a blizzard, this is the idea that I'm getting from this. Often I'll see this as a void, and it's about you being able to bring things from the void. But this doesn't feel like that to me today. This feels very much, because it's also in the reverse position. So it feels more like you're actually hiding something from your own view, and it feels like you're doing it to yourself, because it's too painful to look at. When you've picked the sunstone, and the sunstone is all about wanting to feel happier, wanting to feel brighter, working with those uplifting energies. And Scorpio is really kind of the reverse of that, or Scorpio is the opposite of that. And it's really much more about those darker energies. And I feel that this white blank slate is you pulling the wool over your own eyes, hiding something from yourself that you feel is too scary to look at, too deep, too dark, too secretive. Whatever these words are, you'll understand what it is for you. And at the moment, I'm not getting any indication from Spirit about anything else. All I'm getting is the message that you're doing that. So let's see what other cards are going to influence what's happening for you. In this deck, it is the Druid Animal Oracle, which I've made a review about if you're interested and like these cards, which I do. But this animal here is what the Druids refer to as the oldest animal. It's full of knowledge, full of wisdom, inspiration, rejuvenation, and it also it talks to us about water, and not only salmon but also Scorpio is a water sign. It shows the water flowing really freely. So for me, what is coming up for you next to this card is that it is time to allow your emotions to be freed, and that by allowing this flow, this release, this letting go, which is kind of what we imagine for at the time of the full moon. But at the time of the new moon, it's kind of like using the water element to bathe yourself, to cleanse yourself, to release and let go, so that you can bring new things in, new creativity. And now this is where, once you've done this release, once you've had this let go, it's kind of like you become lighter, you become freer, and things start flowing. And that's when I feel that you're then able to then go into the void and bring new things out. But by hiding whatever this is, it's not a recipe for disaster. It is simply prolonging something that needs to happen in your life. So I'm going to move these to the side. They're kind of like the bookends of this reading for you today. And we have 3 more animal spirits energies coming in for you. And what have we got here? We've got quite a lot of winged animals. We've got cat spirit, claim your independence. And when I was pulling these cards, not that I can see them when I'm pulling them, but I had it intuitively that this is kind of like past, present, and future. So let's see how that pans out for you. We have 13, which is cat spirit. So it's claim your independence. 13 is what we consider in Western society as an unlucky number, but it's one of those numbers that's been kind of messed with. And in lots of traditions, it's actually a really, really lucky number. And cat spirit is all about being who you truly are. And I feel like that's who you really are. You normally, when you're feeling really great, that's who you really are. However, there is this element at the moment for you of you hiding things from yourself, which means you're also hiding things from the world. Moth spirit, which is right now, which is absolutely perfect for what we're talking about, it wants you to surrender. And this surrender is to whatever this thing is over here, whatever this thing that feels too big for you. It is time to surrender to it, and it's going to be okay. It really, really is. Moth spirit doesn't want you to hang on to things. Now, with this card, you can see that moth spirit, easily flies up, but there's this thing that's sort of dragging behind moth spirit. When I see this card, I often think of this, not always, but sometimes. So moth spirit wants you to transform. There's this transformation, this definitely with this card as well, with the salmon. Salmon's about your history, about your past, about going back to your childhood. So for some of you, this may be revisiting some things from your past. And it may be that you need to look at them, but it doesn't mean that you need to stay there. Sometimes if you're on a healing journey or a healing path, you may think to yourself, well, I've done all this before. And I'm sure that you have. But the thing that we need to remember is that every time we go back, we're learning things, but we also have more skills. So it means that we don't stay anywhere for as long. So moth spirit wants you to surrender to whatever this is, because it's time to go back here. And you see all these colours. They're really, really wonderful orangey colours, and I picked lots of orange today for this reading. So for me, this is about your sacral chakra, and it's about creativity and freedom for you. And this stone is a beautiful bringer of those messages. Bee spirit wants you to know that in the future, and we've got a lucky 7. So there's a lot of luck, or this element of luck and unluckiness for you, whether these words keep coming up for you, whether you're feeling that you're not lucky in love, romance, and they're the 2 words that I want to use. So for others it may be different, but they're the only 2 words that want to come out. So I'm going to leave it there. But 7, sweet results await. And I always think of families when I see the what's it called? The honeycomb. Oh, goodness. And bees are really about family, community. And if we look at this bee, which is really kind of interesting, it's got sort of machinery on its back. So it's been sort of like genetically engineered, I suppose, in a way. But to me, what that's talking about for you is that there are sweet results awaiting, but there's something coming in that you probably doesn't feel organic, but not in a bad way. It's just like there's something coming in for you around technology with sweet results await. So, and that's around family, friends, loved ones, things like that. So it could be communication, because winged animals are usually messengers. So it could be that you've got communication coming about family, about loved ones, etc. But it's all good. It's coming in good. Okay, now we've got Dark Night of the Soul. Now this is really interesting because it's sitting underneath that Void card. Dark Night of the Soul, life brings new meaning. Now, if we have a look at this card, it feels like your guides are protecting you, guiding you. We're also dealing with these similar colours here. So we've got these soft colours that we've got here. And it does feel like you're being protected, and you can't really see that card, so I'll bring it a bit closer. it feels like you're being protected and looked after. If you have a look, there's a big halo around this person's head, whether you're male or female, it doesn't really matter. But it feels like your guides are coming to be close to you at this time because there is something that you do need to deal with. But the thing that they want you to know is that it's going to bring so many good things into your life when you deal with this. And Scorpio Supermoon is a great time to go into the depths. Now, this card was about what you can't see, and it is asking you to listen. Now, that's really important. And after coming straight after that card, I feel like your guides really want you to start paying attention to any guidance that you're getting, because you may be overlooking it. You may not be listening to it, is what I'm being told. And you may be thinking that it's too subtle. It's not in your face enough. And one of the good things, or one of the things that, I really know very much from my own life, is that the messages that come to you subtly, they're those gentle messages from your guides. If you're not listening, they come in with the big, loud, strong messages, and you don't want those because that's when your life is really out of balance. So it's time to listen. And these are the things for you to go on with. What have we got? We've got doubt. I release the need to know all the answers, and that's kind of close to this listening card. And you might think, how is that close to listen? Because when we don't believe, when we put obstacles in our own way, we doubt that we're hearing the messages of our guides. We doubt that it's time to go back into whatever this is that we don't want to look at. When we deny these things, they're the things that get us further into, not the words more strife was going to come up, but I don't feel that's the way your guides want you to view it, but it might be how you see it. They want you to surrender now because there's some really great things about to happen for you. At the time of this new supermoon, lots and lots of creativity, fertility, and a movement on from wherever it is that you've been hanging on to. So you may have been hanging on to something from the past that you want to block out, that you want to leave behind, and your blocking it is actually sending more energy to whatever it is. And that's why this salmon spirit has come in, because it's time to revisit it. It's time to allow the emotional content of this to be released. And I was talking about this the other day, and I was saying that, energy is like an emotional or electrical charge. Once it uses the electrical charge, that's it. If you respond, if you keep hiding it, if you keep pushing it away, if you refuse to look at it, all of those things you think are not giving it energy. Your guides want you to know that those efforts on your behalf are actually feeding whatever it is that you don't want to look at. And this is where your doubt and denial again come in. They want you to know that because you deny it and you doubt those ideas, it doesn't make it any less of a fact. It's time for you to listen to the messages that you're getting. There are some great results awaiting for you. There is a big peak time for you to get a lot of stuff done. But it's time to go back to this, and then you're going to experience the joyful creativity, freedom that is going to come when this sacral chakra for you is worked on, is looked at in whatever means it is that's necessary for you. It could be that you go and see a healer, you go and have some acupuncture done, whatever it is, remedial, whatever it is. It could be, chiro, whatever. But there's going to be an emotional element, because that's what's coming up in this Scorpio supermoon. So this salmon, again, I keep coming back to this card, because this card is like the key for you to know that whatever it is you're doing, you're working on the big stuff. So don't feel disheartened and disillusioned because you felt like you'd already dealt with this. And the other thing I really want to be drawn to right now is this underbelly. We've got the same color, and if you think about the flesh of a salmon, it's got that beautiful orange color too. So whatever this underbelly is for you, it may seem like it's too painful, but that's your thoughts defining it. So you want to change your thoughts. You want to release the electrical charges that you're sending to this thing that's in the void. You want to become neutral, a neutral observer, and allow the emotions to flow. Thank you so much for watching today. I've enjoyed this reading for you. If you've enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again in the next reading. Bye. And if you picked pile 3 with the black tourmaline, this is your pile today. And each pile has a kind of like an overriding animal spirit energy that is working with them at the moment. Excuse me. And this is yours. It is pile 3. It is butterfly transformation. Get ready for a big breakthrough. Now, you also have a very protective stone. So you may be feeling a little bit vulnerable going through this transformation. And, you know, that's all perfectly normal and very understandable. So this is the second time. One of the other piles also had this. So maybe you've chosen 2 piles. If you have, then you won't be surprised to see this card show up, but it's in a different position. We have otter spirit, and at the time of the new supermoon, it's all about water. You know, Scorpio is a water energy, and this is kind of like a return to your emotional self, a return to emotional healing. And we have the free flow of the water. We also have maybe trout or salmon, you know, which is the food, which is the thing to nourish the otter. And then I think we have a harp here too. So it's kind of like this environment that the otter's in is about nurturing yourself. It's about nourishing yourself. It's about pleasing yourself. So at the time of this Scorpio supermoon, a lot of the other groups have had a bit heavier kind of energies, whereas I feel like you've already been there, and it's time for you to have a bit more of a rest, a bit more relaxation, a bit more nurturing of yourself. And that's what otter feels like it's doing, because otters are so playful, yet this otter is in repose. It's resting, it's sunning itself, but it's still attached to the water. It's still a part of the water, and it's allowing its emotions to run free, which a lot of the other groups didn't feel like they were working through their emotions in the same way this group feels like it is. We have the Void card. Now this here feels like for you, when I read Void cards that come up occasionally, they can come up in different ways. For you, this feels like a pause. It feels like nothing more than that, which I say nothing more. That's actually a big thing. And I think for you, you have been through an intense time. I feel like you have been through this transformation. You're getting ready for this big breakthrough. It's time to rest. It's time for you to slow down and not do much. And I think you're a type of person that probably really needs to hear that, because you're a go-getter. You're someone who continues to work even when you feel really, really tired. So let's have a look at what other animal spirit energies are coming up for you. Wow, I love these. I love them. They feel kind of aggressive in a sense, and ready to pounce, ready to strike, and also really in my face. They feel in my face. And again, I talked about, these are past, present, and future, these ones. So they're not the same energy that you're looking at. That's what, you know, you kind of want to be in those energies at the time of this new moon. This is your past, present, and future in no defined time space. It's just the energies that you're working with. And here we have Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted. And I absolutely love this card because Vulture Spirit is about realizing that even if you've had a really shitty time, that there's something there for you to take away. That when you pick on the bones of life, there's still something for you to take away from that. And if you look at how regal Vulture Spirit looks in this picture, it's about understanding that. It's about understanding that when you do look backwards and review past situations, you understand that there are lessons that you've learnt, there are things that you've taken away, and you are understanding all of these things. That's why you're about to make this big breakthrough, if you're not already. Snake Spirit is time to heal. And I love this for you because it's talking about what we talked about already. It's talking about the present, which is time to heal. It's time for you to rest. All the things that are happening, like a snake shedding its skin, it's going to do that on its own. You don't need to watch it. You don't need to hang on, wondering when it's going to be over, when it's going to finish. It's time to just let go. It's time to just watch. And both of these are looking in the past, and so is Otter. And I love that because a lot of the times when things are looking to the past, they're looking to the past with either a regret or I don't want to look at the past, it's too painful. But none of those are the feelings that I'm feeling for you. I am feeling that you understand what the past was about for you because you've got this balance of colors here, which again, it just signifies that you're dealing with this in a really, really considered way. And I love it. I love it. And the snake energy is a really quick energy. So if you let things just take let them take their natural course, it's going to move faster than if you start trying to do something. And then we have Peacock Spirit, let it shine. And Peacock Spirit, like you can see that beautiful heart energy. There's that emerald color. It's all about you shining and being who you're meant to be. After you've had this pause, after you've had this repose. And again, that's a funny word for me to use, repose. So I want you to think about it, that word in terms of whatever it is that you're experiencing at the moment, a repose. Is it a shuffle, a reorganization, whatever it is, there's an element there that you need to pay particular attention to that word because it's not one that I use every day. So this is you coming into your own power, and this is this beautiful butterfly energy ready for the breakthrough. So some really wonderful energies coming for you at the time of the new moon. Then we have, now is that too far away? It is a bit. Let me reorganize. See if I can get that in. I'll bring it over so you can see it firstly. Galactic Healer, move forward with an open mind. And we have that in the reverse position. If there's anything that you need to sort of understand, it is that you can surrender a little bit more, that you can take your own mind out of this game a bit more, rest your mind, allow your guides and everyone to take care of you. Let more go. Let things go even more. Don't allow yourself to worry, and things will fall away not even quicker. That's not the way of saying it. It's not the right energy, but it's about allowing things to fall away. So now we have what is hidden for you at the moment, and we have Paul the Venetian, and this is about artistic expression. For some of you, it may not be artistic expression per se, but it might be more so your flair, your decorating your home, wearing more interesting clothing, wearing jewelry, whatever it is. There's this artistic expression coming up for you, and for a lot of you, it feels like sort of that peacock energy and butterfly energy. It's kind of like a physical personal transformation. So it's kind of like your outer appearance to the world feels like it's transforming, feels like this is how you show to the world this inner transformation that you're going through. It's lighter, brighter clothes, some new clothes, you know, but also there's this decorative aspect to this. Now here we have some energies for you to help you with a bit of guidance. Judgment reversed. I understand that everything or everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Now, sitting underneath, nothing is wasted. And I think this sort of not coming from the card, but coming from spirit, it is that you can be a little bit judgmental of others at times, that you can see your own, because you're very good at seeing what you're going through. But I feel like this judgment is actually for other people. When we're going through a big transformation, sometimes we can be hard on ourselves, and other times we can see it reflected in other people around us, and that can bug us. And I feel that this judgment card is coming up to show you that there is that element of you seeing your own mirror back to you in other people, and for you to understand that the way you go through your own transformation is really beautiful. However, when you're having something poked and prodded at you from outside of yourself, if you can see that with the same light you're seeing your own emotional stuff, if you can imagine that that's you being reflected back to you in some light, you may be softer with those people, and you may be able to let your heart shine out a bit more. And again, you've got trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And I feel like you're already there. You know that. There's this strong purple sort of feeling. There's a lot of green and a lot of purple. And, you know, there's a lot of spiritual colours. There's a lot of heart healing. There's a very high vibrational element to you, your life, and you know, your relationship with your spiritual world, with your guides, your higher self, whatever it is for you. It's a really great reading for you. You're doing so well at this time of the Scorpio new moon and a new super moon, and you're working through some really, really deep stuff for you, and you're getting ready for a big breakthrough. So be really kind to yourself and others. Thanks for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hope to see you again in the next reading. Bye-bye.